natural movement. We all move. We're born to move. Natural exercise. We're not in the gym. Preferably we are outside, or we have a window where we have access to some nature, a tree, or a plant in the room. We all have live in different areas, districts, countries, and sometimes we have limited access to the nature, the raw nature. But before we go any further, I'd just like you to make sure that you are sitting comfortably, either on a chair or on the floor. We will be moving most of the time, so if you have a little bit of space around you, that's very helpful. We have no shoes on. You can have socks or you can be barefoot, because I want us to feel the ground underneath us. So let us just find a comfortable sitting position, preferably if you're on a chair, not leaning back into the back of your chair. And find your two sit bones underneath you. And we're going to think of our pelvis, that little bowl we have, and we have the two tuberosities to sit on. Very helpful that they're there, but we don't often use them. We're often in a slump. So let's find those tuberosities and let our pelvis settle in underneath us before we start. Our feet are grounded. If we're on a chair, they are straight down, not crossed. And our spine, can we feel it flowing upwards through the crown of our head? We're going to keep things simple, and we're going to increase our awareness in how we move different parts of our body, which we can take out with us further in whatever we're going to be doing during the day. Just feel at comfort in your body. Feel your breath. Through your nostrils, we're breathing in. And breathing out through soft lips. You may close your eyes, or you can have them open. Feel your shoulders releasing, softening. Rest your hands, your arms. And as you breathe in, can you feel your ribs gently widening? And let them recoil, soften down as you breathe out. So we create a movement, a lateral movement out to the sides of the room, through our ribs. And a lovely slow release as you breathe out. Check your thighs, your legs are released. Check your jaws, they're released. And soften your tongue. Let it rest in the floor of your mouth. And we gradually come to again. I'm going to give you a little poem to start with. To give a little bit of the essence of natural movement. And we're going back in time to when we were little and we moved, we explored without thinking about it, we just did it. That was part of our practice, that's part of our exercise, That was part of how we developed. And then somehow or other it all stopped up. But let's just go back in time, and we're going to try and rekindle that feeling again from now on in what we do. It's called A Dance of My Own, and it's by a lady called Rain Catalona. Spinning and twirling round and round, a skip, a gallop, a leap and a bound, into the air on a full head of steam, away I go, on the wings of a dream to the special place where my spirit flies free, and never a clear vision I see. Harmony in movement, passion and grace. In a flash I'm a dancer in a magical place, a feeling more glorious I have never known than when I'm dancing a dance of my own. And we can all dance. We can all put movements together and create a dance. And if you can now just come up to standing position, I invite you up to standing position, we'll start some movements. Are you comfortably now standing as you were sitting with the same principles? Now we have our feet underneath our hips. And can we let our pelvis, that lovely, beautiful bowl, that vase, just settle down underneath us? Sometimes we have it at an angle. Think of it as a lovely vase full of water and let it just stand there beautifully and allow your spine to lengthen up from it. With ease, let it flow. Have you got, take note, weight on one side more than the other? Very common we do that, to let one hip come out. Let's put our feet right down and just move between your right and left foot. Just send your weight from one side to the other. Let your feet take one foot at a time and then gradually come back into a neutral balance state. Take my glasses off here. Now, there are many ways to move. Can you lift up one foot? And what happens when you do that? Can you lift up the other foot? What happens when you do that one? Maybe they're different. Can we see if we can actually float up a foot? Think of a float and maintain a balance line, not going over onto the one side. Can be difficult, can be tricky. Just be aware of what our habits are when we raise our foot up, slightly bent knee, and we put it back down again. Okay, let's find our balance again. The same with our shoulders. We want them nicely, softly out to the sides and our arms hanging by our sides. And can you just raise up your right arm? Raise it up and release it down. Raise the other one up. How does that one feel? And lower it down again. Now, can we think a little bit differently? Can we think of raising our right lung as our arm comes up? Right from that base of your lung, and it comes, your arm follows on. And bring that down. Can we try the same with the left one? Can we bring up from the lowest part of our lung? Raise your arm. And we lower it down. Does that feel different? Is it a lighter feel? And it flows back down. It's not a floppy arm. We have vitality there. And we bring it back down. What else can we do from our lung? Can we move our arm out to the side? We want to use our space, the space around us. How far can we go out? That's a natural movement coming out here. But often our movements are restricted. We restrict ourselves. Let's bring our opposite arm out, left arm out, and we reach up. Think from your lung this time again. Reach through your lung. We want to release our shoulders. Often they're tight. If we think we're moving from the center of our body, our movement is going to be much more graceful and less pressure. Can you now stretch out in front of you Really feel you opening your back, low down, and we're going to come back up. Can we get a little smoothing of a circular fashion with our spine? So let us now breathe in again and breathe out, and we're going to stretch out and really curve your spine this time. Opening up there, right ahead of you. Release down and roll up, and your feet push the ground away from you. So get a feeling of lightness as you come back. Let us now do some breathing with our upper body movements, creating space in our chest. So stand carefully, and we're going to breathe in, bring the arms up, lengthen up through the crown of your heads, and open your arms. Pretend this arms commence from your lungs, stretching up, and arms come out into the center and down to your sides. Now we're going to bend your knees, head down, and we're going to roll up through the whole length of the spine now. Arms float out and in to the center. Arms down, and again, bringing your navel towards your lower backs. Flow through your spine, lengthen up as far as you feel comfortable. Arms out, draw into the center, and release down again. And one more up we come. Open, open, open your back, open your chest. Right arm now, we're going to float out to the side from the lung again. And now our ribs are going to rotate, our lungs are going to rotate around behind us, opening up and down. Breathe in, opposite arm. Rotate the rib cage, your lungs, and bring back. Your pelvis and hips stay, your legs stay. And draw gently in with your navel and rotate. Bring back, flowing arm. How light can that arm feel? Out again, and from your lung, round it goes. Bring back and lower it down. And now press the air down towards the floor. Press down, feel your shoulders going down and your neck is lengthening. Down you go. And now we're going to just rub the hands there, legs apart slightly now, and turn out now in the hip joint. Maintain a little bit neutral pelvis there, that balanced vase, and don't lean forward or back. Stay well stacked with our ribs and our shoulders, neck and heads. And we're ready now to breathe in and press down. And now we're going to gently lower our body down, our pelvis, our spine, our head, softening the knees. And then push the ground away from you and up you come with your crown leading, and knees gently fold out, and you maintain that aligned position the whole time. Your upper body stays soft and released. And glide down once more. And now bring the arms upwards, flowing arms, and they come out to the sides. And again, we're going to do a rotation with the rib cage. Feel your lungs go behind you. And to the other side. Can you turn without taking your lower body with you, and up, lengthening your legs. And now just stretch out through your spine, draw in your navel, lengthen out, chin down, lower your arms down, and now flow through your spine, and making sure it's your head last of all coming up. And do that once more. Bring in your navel, exhale, arms stretch out, arms float down, and then roll up through your spine. And now just shake out through your legs, through to your toes, from your hips. Loosen, 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 soften down as you prepare now to get down, ready to do some movements on the floor, on your mat. So take your time. And we get back on our sit bones, and we're now going to lie down on our back with bent knees. And I want you to feel your thighs totally releasing into the hip joint. Feet down into the ground as before. Now we're often very tight around our hips, which inhibit It's our movement when we're doing our natural activities of walking, running, whatever you like to do out there, and we're often very tight here. Now, can you float up your left knee? You can keep it in a 90-degree angle and let that thigh bone drop down into your hip joint and relax those muscles around your thigh bone. Think of the bone lifting. Now, if you can manage to hold underneath your knee on that side, that's fine with your left hand, and bring it in towards your body without tensing any muscles. Now, that's quite a little exercise, quite a practice to manage. It's difficult to let go of those muscles. And once we manage that, can you just circle in your hip joint, a small circle, as though you're deep down in that joint, your hip joint, in that socket, lubricating there. Just let that go around easily of its own accord. You can go the other way, trying to allow those muscles to release, softly round. And now stretch away your right leg along the ground. Slide it, don't lift it. Slide it and lengthen it out there. Flex your right ankle, lift your toes, stretch the ankle and slide it back. Now reach up to the ceiling, your left leg. A long leg now. And now draw a little circle up in the ceiling, still allowing the feel of that thigh bone going down into your hip joint. That's all. Are your shoulders relaxed, your arms? Are you using other areas of your body unnecessarily? And slowly lower that foot down. Bring in now the opposite leg, right leg, in towards your chest. And let that go. And we're going to go around in a little circle in that joint, lubricating, warming up, deep, deep, deep into the bone, right through the layers. And then up that lengthens, up that comes, and we're circling up in the ceiling. This is a long leg. Can you still balance your pelvis? It's lying flatly there on the ground, on your mat. Your body isn't rolling from side to side. Go the other way. It's a weightless leg. Softly bend your knee. Lower. And now send out your left leg, slide it along the ground. Reach it out, so that's lengthened too. And flex your ankle and stretch. Flex and stretch. Slide your foot back into the knee bent position and just roll over onto one side and come up into your sitting position. Back onto your sit bones. Back into that lovely vase, perfectly balanced underneath you, for your spine to lengthen upwards, your shoulders softly out, your arms soft. And now think of your ear as we just turn it to one side and bring it back. Again, we are thinking of another part of, we're not just saying turn our head, we think of our ear. So the awareness is slightly different than turning your head. It's your ear and back. And just gently drop your nose down and bring it back up. Just raise your nose slightly up without shortening the back of your neck. Keep your neck long. Don't just drop your head back. Keep it long. There. And bring your nose back. So you're looking straight ahead again. We slowly come up to standing again. Take your time to come up. And relax. into our aligned body, our feet, our hips, our pelvis, a long tail. Rib cage is folded down in line with our pelvis and our head is beautifully balanced on the top. And this I'd love you to be able to think of in whatever you're going to do, in any physical activity, out, walking. Stop and do some exercises. Go high, go low, go to the sides, play with children, take the dog out, go down on their level. Can we find as many different areas of positions? Lots of variety in movement is what we need to bring back that natural state that we're born and have naturally within us. We've just forgotten, freed up, and really enjoy the pleasure of movement again. As Einstein once said, if nothing moves, nothing happens. So I think that's a good little note on this little taste of what you can go on and manage and create and find for yourselves. Enjoy your movement, whatever you do.
Okay, everybody, we had a very nice experience before. We are going to do something similar and something different now. So if you want to stand up, but if you have any hip problem, back problem, you can do most of these practices sitting as well. So you choose. You want to keep your feet warm. So socks or light and very comfortable shoes, or if you have a rag, a carpet, something nice wooden floor, you can stay barefoot. And we're going to follow up from the practice before this feeling of moving naturally and let everything go with fluidity. So we imagine a little thread that from the 7th cervical vertebra, the bigger one that you feel when you bend over your head, is pulling you up, 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 up. And you don't want to follow this pull, but the opposite, you want just to relax, abandon yourself and surrender to this gentle pulling. It's a bit like a sensation of a nice jacket or a very nice dress in a hanger that totally abandon all the fibers to the pulling, or better say the attraction of the gravity. So you want to drop your shoulders as well and tuck very gently your chin towards your throat. But you have like a very small, soft ball, so it's not forced. You want to keep this ball here. You don't want to let it, you don't want to lose it, but as well you don't want to squash it. And this chin position should make you feel a very gentle push of the base of the skull towards the sky. Again, you relax all the muscles. You don't want to keep it, but just create the condition to elongate a little bit the cervical spine. And then you let the chest sink, again the shoulders. And here we have a shoulder nest. It's an area of a lot of tissues. You want to soften it up and gently let it sink down, 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 down. Relax your armpit, and again a little ball under your armpit, and you want to rest your arms and shoulders on top of it and create a little bit of roundedness in your arms. Relax your elbows and wrist, palms and the fingers. And you let the fingers become a little bit longer, like a very thin, gentle, elastic band, like rubber. that is pulled very, very gently and softly towards the ground, the earth. Don't use any force, but opposite, you let everything sink down. And then again, bring your awareness on the top of your head and relax the forehead, your eyes, and all the muscle around your eyes. You relax your jaw. You want the teeth, the upper and lower part of your teeth separate. Relax the inside of your mouth, the lips, the tongue, and the throat, inside of your throat. And again, let's sink the chest, the shoulders, shoulder nest. And we go down and relax all the rib cage. Let it drop. While the thread behind you is pulling you up, 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 let drop everything and bring your awareness to your hips. Let the hips drop and the bottom become very, very heavy. Tailbone goes under a little bit. And now bring your awareness in your perineal area. The perineum is a very important part in the energy practices. So you want to open that area and relax it like you are sitting on a big beach ball, on a sphere. And you relax all the tissue inside your hip bones here. Let go and relax the muscle in your legs. And relax the back of your knees. And imagine the soft tissues in the back of your knees being elongated a little bit, like they are pulled upward and backward, very gently, and relax your calf. Relax gently your ankle and let the body weight drop down under your heels. Very, very gentle. The feet remain relaxed, the toes as well, and you open, expand the feet a little bit. But the body weight is under your heels. And then we go again once more from the top to the bottom. But now we imagine to be in a nice, in the middle of nature, like a thermal area where you have your body inside of water. The right temperature for yourself, you decide, but you have this nice sensation of being sustained by the thread, and again, as well, by the water all around you and under you. So the thread is pulling you up. You bring the chin in a little bit. The base of your skull is pulling up gently. And you let go everything down. You want to open up and let everything that is stuck, that is heavy, sink down into the earth. And you want to dissolve the body in the water. It is all around you. And relax the shoulders, shoulder nest. You relax and let sink your chest. The rib cage. Relax the elbows, the wrist, the palm, and your fingers. All the small joints in your fingers open up gently, and the fingers are slightly pulled downward. Tailbone under, perineum area, expand and relax. Relax inside the hips, like you are sitting in the hips, and leave the knees completely empty, relaxed. Relax again the muscle in your legs, the calf, and the tendons and ligament and the ankle. And let drop the body weight under your heels. Relax your feet and your toes. And now gently we explore some of the possibility of movement of our spine. We want to move 80% or also 75% of your maximum possibility. You don't want to push, and Keep all the muscle relaxed and the inner organs relaxed. You don't want to use force, just natural, very natural. From the waist, we keep the hips and the perineum relaxed and sinking down. We keep the sensation of the tread pulling us up, and we let go the waist very softly. Shoulders, arms free. You want to focus and have your awareness only in the waist area. And you move from there, a little impulse, and let the movement reach wherever can be with no effort. Very natural, very soft. The tread is pulling you up, the hips are resting down. You surrender to this impulse, to this intention you have to move from here. Let the arms hanging, the shoulders sinking, the chest sinking, and everything relax, relax. Good. And now we go back in the center. We find again this alignment with these two forces. One pulling up, and we abandon everything, and the other force is pulling us downward. And then let's sink more. Your shoulder blade, arms. Turn a little bit your palm towards each other, and you're still in the water, and you relax shoulder, chest, shoulder nest. Elbows, wrist, palm and finger, and a little gentle intention to move the water and bring it closer. And then relax again, shoulder, chest, shoulder nest, wrist, palms, fingers, and a little intention, gentle, to move the water outward. And then again, relax and let's sink the shoulder, shoulder blade, shoulder nest, wrist, palm, fingers, and let go. The movement happens by itself. You just relax first. The tread is pulling you up. The hips are sinking. You relax your legs and knees and ankle and feet, and relax shoulder. Let's sink the chest and the shoulder nest. Relax the elbows and the wrist, the palm, the fingers, and let go. You do the movement like you are observing your body. And you stop when you feel you start using the muscle, the movement stop. And again, you relax from top to bottom and let go. And you might feel as well the sensation of the water between your hands. Again, the tread is pulling you up. You relax everything down, down, down. Let go. And the movement happens. And you stop with your feet when you feel you start using muscles. And again, let go. And even if I don't say it, you want to do all this relaxation from top to bottom, and then you let go. The intention to let go and the movement happen. And again, tread is pulling up, you let go and movement. Once more. First, you relax everything. Abandon. You are in the water. Let go. Once more. First, you let go everything. Everything sink down and movement happen. Good. Now turn your palm and up. Letting sink the shoulders and down. And now rub in front of your chest. Now, like a beach ball floating with you in the water. So the arms are floating. You don't use muscle to keep the position, where you rest with your arms on the surface of water, and the beach ball floating with you is also helping you to stay afloat. Let go more your hips. You sink inside the hips, not on the heels. Tailbone under. Relax the shoulder and shoulder blade. Let the chest sink a little bit more. Tailbone goes like a millimeter more under, and then everything stays as it is, and the arms up. And you stop when you feel it's getting difficult. When you feel there is a constriction, you stop. Can be here, can be here, here. You don't want to use the muscle to bring up your arms. So wherever you are, you stay a moment, you check you're still lifting up from the tread, pulling up and going down. You check your chest and shoulders are down, and then focus on your shoulder blade and let them sink. And then bring down your elbows. Let go. Once more, let them sink. Shoulder blades sink. Let go. Once more, let them sink down and let go. And now bring in front of you again. Turn your palm out from the shoulder blade. They sink and they open. You still have the beach ball floating. And now we do the same movement from the waist. Waist, turn, turn. And you stop 80% of your movement and center. Again, same side. You turn from the waist. It means the hips are still accommodated in this sitting position. And you turn from here and you keep everything sinking down, relaxing. And back once more. You turn from your waist gently and back. Turn your hands, bring up, sinking the shoulder and the chest, and shoulder blade down. Again, down, gentle, no muscle, down, very natural. And bring in front of your chest, turn, shoulder blade are pushing a bit. They are going down and opening a little bit. You have a sphere here, so the space is full and soft at the same time. And then from the waist, we turn on the other side. Keep your hips as they are. Turn. Small. When you feel you start using force, you go back. Very natural. And then back and up. And sink your shoulder blade down. Once more. And once more. And up. And down. All the way down, 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 down. Like water is going down. And let go. Up. Shoulders down. Chest down. It's like the water is going up, brings the arms up, and then goes down. Up, down. Once more. Up and down. Good. Now we do another movement. You put your hands on your hips, and now we move the hips forward, forward in this way. Okay? So we leave everything as it was before, aligned and relaxed. And the movement this time comes from the hips, but you don't want to do this, okay? No, this is another class. We do this, forward, forward. Very soft, it's little. Doesn't have to be a big movement, but you want to keep this movement like the ball that we have been shown before is two pieces separate between them. So you move one piece and then the other one. Okay, we have a joint behind us in the hips, and we can do this movement. Just we are not very much used to do it and feel it. So like this, very soft. Don't use the knees, don't push with the knees forward, but relax into the hips and then very small, forward, backward, and you change. 1, 2, e 1, e 2, e 3, e 4, e 5, e 6, e 7, e 8, e giù. Bene. Now, all the body weight in the back, leg, and we still sink under the heel and we leave the foot relaxed. The leg in the front doesn't have the body weight, but has its own weight sinking down in the floor, in the earth. So you don't want to have 100% of the weight here, but it's minus the weight of your leg, okay? And now we do the same movement we just did in this way, and we add the arms. So the movement is not in the arm, the movement comes from here, from the hip. The hip does this, and the arms goes up. Like the water is rising and brings the arm up, and then the water goes down. And the hips keeps doing this movement. Forward, one and the other. Just very gentle. Can be slower. Keep the perineum relaxed and expand, like you are really sitting on a bowl, on a sphere. Can be very, very slow. And then when you got it, you can experience and explore what happens in your body if you do it a little bit faster, but not with the muscle. Shoulders down, arms completely abandoned, chest down, tailbone under, hips accommodate. Good. And one little step forward or backward. Is it time to stop, John? And we do the same. Just a second. We do this part so we don't leave the body half sensation on one side. And from the hips, this here, okay? Very gentle. The arms just raise up, but the movement starts in the bottom, in the hips area. Okay, and we stop here. Just 1 second, close your eyes and let everything sink again. Chin tucked in, base of your skull towards the sky, and everything sink. And thank you.
So let us stand and have some space around you to be able to just move so you have enough of your arm span to move. We're going to be stood for this. I'm just going to angle the video so you can see most of my body. What an interesting morning already. So I would like you to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Arms just resting by your side. And actually just close your eyes for one moment and allow yourselves to feel the movement that you probably have generated inside yourselves from what we've already explored this morning. What do I feel inside? Can I feel my pulse, my inner rhythm?
Do I feel my breath coming in and out? And where are my thoughts right now? How is my attention now? And then very softly open your eyes. And in preparation for what we're going to explore, we're going to be looking at this wonderful song. It's a Swahili song, and I use it a lot, and it brings a lot of joy and a lot of energy, but it requires a bit of preparation. So to prepare, we're going to just explore our idea of standing. And I like to think of standing as an act of rebalancing. So already see if that thought has allowed a little bit of movement to come into your body. We don't want to be stuck and static and rigid. We want movement to be available when we're standing. And this movement could come from the ankle joint right at the bottom, so that the rest of me is kind of one piece, but there's a little bit of movement forwards to the middle and backwards from my ankle joint. So pause in the middle and just allow this whole weight of your body to sink down into the ground. We've already done a lot of that with both Anne and Gina. So hopefully you can feel a bit of weight going down. And then allow your feet to receive something from the ground that's going to bring you up. So you're going to rising up in the legs, in the torso, and also continue the thought, we're just thinking here, out of the top of your head. So I have the weight of my body grounding into the floor, and I'm receiving something that's going to allow me to lengthen upwards. Now just notice in yourselves if perhaps you've twisted a little bit. Can you undo and allow for the twist to just undo? Perhaps you've got weights leaning more on one leg. Can I undo that and just come into a bit of a balance in the middle? Once I've allowed for a bit of natural realignment, I want to take the weights of my whole body forwards onto my toes. So feel the balls of your feet underneath. Allow the whole of your weight from the ankle joints to come to the middle, and then the whole of your body weight to come back onto your heels. Remember, the foot is an arch, and I allow the weight to go over the arch to the middle, over the arch to the balls of the feet, back to the middle, back to the heels. Not too far, else you'll throw your alignment out, and back to the middle. And once you're in the middle, just allow a fluidity to be there. So I could move to the toes, I could move to the heels. It's not going to affect me or put me out too much. I don't want to hinder that natural movement that is there when we're standing. So standing is a lovely act of balancing. I could even have a little rotation, very small rotation. If I imagine I had a laser at the top of my head, I'd be drawing lovely concentric circles in the sky, going the other way as well. Good, and we're going to call that am I balancing? And we can always come back to ourselves and ask, am I balancing? And the likelihood is we're probably not, in which case we can allow that beautiful fluidity to come through. It's the natural state of the human organism. You look at a child, they're never static and rigid, they have movement. Great, so we're going to layer up. The next thing that's super important for life, but also for singing, is our breath. So we've already considered our breathing, and we're going to see, first of all, where can you feel your breath coming in and out in yourself. So take a moment. Can I feel it in my belly? Can I feel it in my chest? Perhaps I feel it in my shoulders. Just notice where it is for you. Good, and I'm going to show you with my hands the diaphragm. Diaphragm is dome-shaped, it sits under your ribs. And when the air comes in, it relaxes and comes down, and at the same time we've got this lovely movement of the rib cage outwards. So just imagine that. You can even do it with your hands if you like. In breath, the air is drawn into the body and the ribs simultaneously expand outwards. Exhalation, diaphragm comes back up, ribs come back in, and the air is exhaled out. So try that a couple of times. In breath, diaphragm comes down, rib cage expands. Exhalation, the opposite happens. And then letting the arms just stand relaxed, and just allow yourselves to have a pause at the end of the exhalation and see if you can allow the breath to be drawn in by this lovely movement inside your body. You may never have considered this before, but actually it's the movement of the diaphragm and the ribs that draws the air in through the nostrils. So see if you can find that in yourselves. Air is drawn in through the nostrils. I have an expansion in the body. And an exhalation. Allow the exhalation out through the mouth. Inhalation through the nostrils, lovely expansion, out through the mouth. And I invite you to just find your jaw. You can take your fingers and find the joint, and you can do that easily by allowing the jaw to just drop open a few times. And you'll feel the joint moving, and give it a good massage. We need our jaw joints to be working. Good. And you can also just allow the jaw to go left and right. Good. And so it's functioning for you. And then just allow yourselves to have maybe 2 cycles of breath where you're aware of this lovely expansion. And when you allow the air out, allow the jaw to drop open for the air to release. End of the exhalation, I wait. The diaphragm expands, the air is drawn in through the nostrils. I drop the jaw open and the air comes out. Good, and I ask myself, am I balancing? Come back to this notion of the whole body balancing. You've got all of this available to you. And as I do that, can I continue this lovely cycle of breath in my body? Am I balancing? Am I breathing? One final element we want to add. We've taken your attention a lot this morning internal, which is fantastic. And now we would like to invite the seeing element. So all of this that's around you, you've got the Zoom, you've got the space around you, you've got the people in the same room as you. I'd like you to place yourselves behind your eyes so that you can allow the impressions that you see outside to come to you. So there's an idea that I'm going to stay in myself, in my body weight going down, rebalancing, breathing, and my eyes, instead of doing the seeing, they are receiving impressions. Good. Am I balancing? Am I breathing? Am I seeing? Very nice. And before I teach you the words of the song, I invite you to close your eyes again and do what we call taking a mental snapshot. Take a mental snapshot of where you're at in terms of movement inside yourself. We often think of movement as being an external physical motion, but there's movement inside already. We've allowed some fluidity this morning in our body. Things are moving, things are opening, things are undoing. See if you can connect with that, wherever it is in your body. And then allow the eyes to open. And I'm going to teach you the words of the song. But whilst I do that, I'd like most of your attention to be on, am I balancing? Am I breathing? Am I receiving impressions? So I'll talk the words through first. It's mimini. So you can go ahead and repeat. I'll do like a call and response. Mimini. Mimini. Once more. Mimini. And we're going to add another word to that. Miminikama. And again. Miminikama. One last time. Mimi ni kama. Good. Great. Two more little words to add onto the end of that. Two-way. And again, two-way. One last time, two-way. Here we go. I'm going to add it all together. Mimi ni kama two-way. Your go. My go. Mimi ni kama two-way. Your go. Good. One last time. Mimi ni kama two-way. Your go. Good. And then just pause. Bring yourselves back to yourselves. That's a lot to take on to this beautifully readjusting, aligned posture that you all have. And just notice, where did I go? What happened as I received these instructions of a different language? Bring yourselves back. Good. Mimi ni kama two-way. Your go. My go. Mimi ni kama two-way. Your go. Last time. Mimi ni kama two-way. Your go. Good. Now I'm going to introduce the song element of it. So I've layered it up quite nicely. I can see you're all readjusting, you're balancing. It's a beautiful song because it's a call and a response. So when I'm doing the call, be sure to be rebalancing. Be sure to have a nice in-breath coming in so that when you do your response, it's on the exhalation. And be sure to let that air out when you respond with your Mimi ni kama two-way. I'll do it after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mimi ni kama two-way. My go. Mimi ni kama two-way. Your go. And again. Mimi ni kama two-way. Last time. Mimi ni kama two-way.
Mimi ni kama two-way.
I think I heard someone then. If you could just make sure you're muted. Great. So that's the first part of the song. We are going to do it to music in a moment and possibly add some dance, but I'll teach you the end of the song. The end of the song we all sing together. So I'll teach it to you first and then we'll try it together. It goes, whoa, all together, whoa, once more, whoa. That's the end, and I just forgot there's a middle part. So we have the first part, which is Mimi ni kama two-way, and then it's a call and response. And the end part, which is whoa. In the middle, we have a little section that goes whoa, whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. So I'll call that and you respond that. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. 2, 3. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. So I'll count it in for you. It's slightly different because it's not on the beat. It's not on the first beat, it comes in on the third beat. So I'll actually count you in for this one. I'll go 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. Lovely. So let's take it from the top all the way through. It's call and response, but then we all do the whoa. Oh, we all do that together. And with the music, it will make more sense. So before we start, am I balancing? Am I breathing? Am I seeing? Good. So let's go for it. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mimi ni kama two-way. Mimi ni kama two-way. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Mimi ni kama two-way. All together, here we go. Whoa, whoa. I think you're ready for some music. So I want you to enjoy this bit. We've done quite a lot of thinking, and the brain can only really take too much, and I want you to enjoy it, not worry if you get it wrong, and see if when you're doing it you can allow a bit of natural movement. And by that I mean how your body feels to move to it. There's no right or wrong way, because we're all so different, and allow that movement to come through. So here we go. Mimi ni kama tuwe,
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe.
all together, whoa. Again, I go, mimi ni kama tuwe,
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe.
together, here we go, really enjoy it now, mimi ni kama tuwe,
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe.
together, whoa. Oh, it's again. We'll go.
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
Last time. Mimi ni kama tuwe.
mimi ni kama tuwe,
Whoa, mimi ni kama tuwe.
oh mimi ni kama tuwe.
Fantastic. Well, that just looked amazing from where I am. I've got 2 minutes left, and I'd quite like to do it once more. The loop is 2 minutes long. So prepare yourselves. See if you are balancing, breathing, and seeing. And just before we started, check in with yourselves. There will be energy that we've cultivated from this practice. Where do you feel it in you? You might feel it in your legs, you might feel it in your abdomen, shoulders. Where is it for you? Where can I feel this energy? Because ultimately, music, movement, dance, exercise cultivates energy, and we often don't know what to do with it. So find it. Where is it in you? And then use that energy for the music, for the song and the dance. See if you can find it in yourselves and use it. Here we go. Mimi ni kama tuwe,
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe.
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama
together,
tuwe.
mimi ni kama tuwe,
Mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe,
oh mimi ni kama tuwe.
Thank you very much, everybody. You did great. Let's get into semi-supine quickly. Finish with a minute of lying down on our backs. And allow your eyes to close. And I'm just going to read out those questions that we posed, the reflective questions. So you have a moment to just reflect on how you're feeling now in comparison to the beginning of the session. So just consider what for you is health, what for you is exercise. What exercise do you currently engage in? Take a mental snapshot of yourself right now. Are you fully here or still rushing around in your thoughts? How does your body feel now? Do you have any aches and pains? Are you worried? And finally, take a moment to breathe. Be aware of the sensation of your body and make yourselves comfortably aligned.